You're welcome to Eyewitness Live. Please remember to subscribe to our channel, like and share our posts.
Gaza is cut off from the outside world in more ways than one. After a communication blackout, some links with Gaza are gradually being restored, revealing the full picture of Israel's so-called second phase of the war against Hamas. Across Gaza, but particularly in northern areas around Gaza City, the devastating impact of Israeli airstrikes means the search for survivors among ruined buildings and homes is almost futile. Israel says it now has troops, commanders and tanks on the ground in Gaza, targeting specific Hamas infrastructure, including the network of tunnels under Gaza, and eliminating named Hamas leaders who Israel says were responsible for the atrocities of October the 7th.
We will gradually expand the ground operation and scale of forces in the Gaza Strip. It is complex and involves risk for our forces too. We will do everything in our power, from the air, sea and ground, to ensure the safety of our forces and to achieve the war's objectives.
The United Nations and other aid agencies say the needs of Gaza's 2.1 million residents are critical. It says there are 600,000 internally displaced people who fled from the bombing in the north towards towns in the south where resources are scarce. While Israel today played down the scale of the crisis, insisting that food and water supplies were adequate, desperate families have even been looting food storage facilities and UN warehouses.
In 1 week, we only have 80 trucks, 80 trucks, just above 80, right? That's when we say it's a drop in the ocean or it's crumbs, it's not a PR stunt, it's the truth. Because before the war, Gaza used to get 500 trucks every day. So in 1 week, we had just over 80 trucks.
Israel has rejected some international calls for a ceasefire to allow the creation of an aid corridor, but says it will allow some more regular aid in through the Rafah crossing with Egypt. Fuel will not be on the list, as Israel says it will be stolen by Hamas. Israel's Prime Minister maintains that the military objectives of this war are his #1 priority. But in addition to those international concerns, there's an important domestic audience too, worried about what increased military activity in Gaza might actually mean. Mr. Netanyahu met this weekend with the families of the more than 220 hostages, Israelis and foreigners, still being held captive by Hamas in Gaza. He promised to exhaust every possibility to bring their loved ones home. And while many Israelis support their government's military aims, some of the families say it's time to make a deal. There have been many conflicts between Israel and Hamas in and around Gaza in the last 2 decades. This is by some distance the biggest and most costly. It's a war that Israel says it must see through to its conclusion, knowing the number of casualties will inevitably keep going up. Wada Davis, BBC News, Jerusalem.
Please remember to subscribe to our channel, like and share our posts.